Let's go through some examples of finding percents of numbers. Find 50% of 48. Okay, this one, let's just use the decimal version of the percent. So 50% is the same thing as 0.5. 0.5. And then find 50% of 48. Of means multiply. So 0.5 times 48. Okay, and we can do that. 48 times 0.5. Well, 5 times 8 is 40. And then 5 times 4 is 20, plus 4 is 24. And then the decimal goes right there because in our problem we have 48 and we have 0.5. And you count up how many numbers to the right of the decimal in our total problem. So 48 has 0 to the right and 0.5 has just one number to the right. So that's where it goes. You just need one number to the right of the decimal in your answer. So 24. So find 50% of 48. Well, that's 24. Okay, the next one. Find 10% of 36. Let's do the fraction for this one. You could do the decimal, but let's do the fraction. So 10%, that's the same thing as 10 over 100. And then that can be simplified to 1/10. 1 over 10. If you divide the numerator by 10 and divide the denominator by 10, you'll get 1/10. So now we have 36 times 1/10, 1 over 10. And we can change 36 so that it's a fraction and put a 1. And then you just multiply straight across. So 36 times 1, well, that's just 36. And then 1 times 10 is 10. So we have 36 over 10. And now we just need to simplify. So we can divide both the numerator and the denominator by 2. And we'll get 18 in the numerator because 36 divided by 2 is 18. And we can do that here if you don't know that. 2 goes into 3 once. And 2 goes into 16 8 times. And you won't have a remainder, so it's 18. And then 10 divided by 2 is 5. So you have 18 over 5, or you could also simplify that. 5 goes into 18 3 times with a remainder of 3, so it would be 3 3/5. 3 3/5, which is also the same thing as 3 6/10, which is also the same thing as 3.6. So if you did the decimal, if you wanted to go back and do the decimal, you'll get 3.6. But that's the same thing as 3 3/5. 3 6/10 is the same thing as 3 3/5. Okay, last problem. Now this is a word problem, and it's something that you'll come into contact when you're shopping. So a video game's regular price is $45. Find the sale price with a 20% discount. So it's on sale for 20% off. So what we need to do is find out what 20% of 45 is and then subtract that from 45. So it's 20% off. So we need to find out what 20% of 45 is and then subtract that, and you'll get the final price, the sale price. So 20% of 45. Well, let's do the decimal with this one. So you have 45 times 0.2. So 45 times 0.2, or 2/10. 45, and 20% is the same thing as 2/10. So 45 times 0.2. And 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And then the decimal goes right there after the 9. So 45 times 2/10 is going to be 9. And then we subtract 9 from 45, and that'll give us our sale price. So 40, because it's 20% off. So you need to figure out what 20% of 45 is and subtract that from the price. So 45 minus 9. And 15 minus 9 is 6. And then you're left with 36. So $36 is the sale price. $36. Okay, now if you wanted to do this another way, you could. You could do it multiplying by the fraction, which would be 20% is the same thing as 1/5, because 20 over 100 is the same thing as 2/10, which is the same thing as 1/5. So all you would have to do is divide 45 by 5, or multiply it by 1/5, and you'll get 9. And then you take 9 away from 45 and you'll get 36.